Hello and welcome to this review of Harwood Canadian blended whiskey. I don't exactly know when Harwood was introduced, but it was about 100 years ago apparently, and then something happened. It was in Vancouver, Canada, and British Columbia, in the western side of Canada, and then something happened in the 1950s with the distillery and a legal problem, and they went out of business. All right, so then later, so Duncan Harwood went out of business, and then Seagram's Distilling bought it, like they used to buy a lot of failing companies, and they had an ad campaign. Harwood is back, but I don't know if that really panned out too much. But anyway, it's still around. It's saying Bardstown, Kentucky today, so that's making me think it's under the Heaven Hill control. So they got the hold of the brand. Seagram's went out of business in the year 2000. So exceptional premium flavor. Exceptional. Premium flavor. So that's a bold statement. Exceptional. Canadian whiskey, a blend. It says imported and bottled by Duncan Harwood Distillers Company, Bardstown, Kentucky. Well, like I say, it hadn't even been in business for 70 years, so that's not the case. It's aged 36 months, so the minimum's aged 3 years, which it has to be at least 3 years for Canadian whiskey. That's the law. Okay, and I bought this. You can hear the wind up in the trees. I bought this big bottle, plastic unfortunately, big bottle at Dorgnac's in Metairie, Louisiana. It was $14.99. $14.99. So, don't know if it has coloring or flavoring added. Canadian whiskey can have that without disclosure. Looks like the label had a little water damage here. Like a little stain, I don't know what that's from. Okay. There's one video review for this I saw. I had watched it. I saw that they have one, so I'll check it out. Didn't see any written reviews, so I'll try to find some, read them. Okie doke, here we go. Never before tried on this channel. Hopefully it's good. And that's the only store I've seen it at. Never saw Harwood, Duncan Harwood anywhere else. So I don't know why Dorgnac's chose to stock it, but where you live, it might be common. Okay, so it's a honey color, very pale straw, amber honey. Doesn't look like it's colored. Usually they'll put them a lot darker when they add color. So it seems to be the natural appearance. Pale as it is. It's a chilly, mostly sunny, dry, windy day. Winter day. Okay. It's just got a standard aroma similar to Crown Royal, honestly, which is good because Crown Royal is about $24 for a regular size bottle, $24 to $25. Sometimes you might find it for $22. And this is $14.99 for a much larger size. Okay. So you get sweet grains, that's what I'm saying, like Crown Royal. You get the corn. Get up maybe a little rye spice. A little honey. Now, Crown Royal uses 50 different whiskeys. I mean, I don't know if this is using 5 different ones, but usually it's a combination of a lot of grain spirits like corn, whiskey. It's aged 3 years though. All the spirits have to be aged. Can't use any neutral spirits. And then some malt whiskey like you would get in Scotland or Ireland. Single malt whiskey and then rye and sometimes wheat. All right, of whatever combination they want to blend it at, you know, whatever mash bill they want to use, and then like I said, they could tweak it with flavoring, natural flavoring and coloring. And the flavoring could be wine, like sherry, could be bourbon, extra flavoring. All right, taste, cheers. Enough of the smell. It's a lot different than the Sazerac Canada products, because those are really strong on the almond extract flavor. I'm not saying they have almond extract in them, it just tastes very almond. This is very oaky. So you get a lot of oak, sweet corn, a little rye spice. Canadian whiskeys tend to, from what I've read, tend to be high rye relative to American. Or at least that used to be the case in the old days. They would call, some people would call Canadian whiskey rye. They say, I'm going to drink rye. They meant Canadian whiskey. That's not a term people use today. I mean, that would have no meaning today in that sense. Medium body, mostly dry finish. Yeah, pretty good rye spice. It's got to be from that. So yeah, if you're used to the Sazerac products like Rich and Rare Reserve, I don't mean VO or VO Gold. That's Sazerac bought those and they kept those to their own style there. But like Canadian Limited, those kind of things, Canadian Leaf, the Northern Lights, Canadian Hunter, that's another good example. James Fox, those are all so similar. They're not exactly the same, but they're so similar one to another. That would be very easy to confuse them. But they have their own house style. This is a different thing. This is more in line, like I said, with Crown Royal. So if you enjoy Crown Royal, but you might need to save some money this month, or you might just want to save money, period, because you're tired of paying for a name. You know how that works? So this would be a great substitute. I don't know if I could tell this apart from Crown Royal, but I'll do a blind taste test to be sure, but I really don't know if I could. It's smooth, easygoing, enjoyable. Yeah, I think you could trick somebody. Yeah, you could definitely trick somebody. I just don't think they would notice. You could have an empty bottle of Crown Royal and fill it with this stuff and just don't even say anything. Just say, hey, you want to drink some whiskey, and take it. They'd never know. They'd never know. If you did that with Rich and Rare, they'd know. Like, I don't think they would say, if this Crown Royal spoiled, they would just say, why does it taste strange like this? If you use Rich and Rare Reserve, you might get away with it. I mean, I don't think you would, but you might. But with this, I think you would. I really think you would get away with it. You really would get away with it. So, amazing. I didn't expect this. So, were they trying to mimic Crown Royal's flavor with this? I don't know about that, but it certainly seems like it. So anyway, so Laissez les Bon Temps Relais. Where is it produced today? Can't be in Vancouver, because that distillery is long gone and demolished, and something else there. I'm gonna look up Heaven Hill. I'm gonna see what Canadian whiskey blends they have, and that'll probably give me a pretty good, almost sure shot idea where it's coming from. So yeah, Laissez les Bon Temps Relais, a delicious product. I'm gonna go with an A, because I give Crown Royal an A, and this, I just said what I said, so I'm gonna give this an A also. A 93 out of 100, 9.3 out of 10, a most excellent product, which is a shock for $14.99 a handle. And I'm gonna end this review by saying, y'all go on an expedition and try to find Harwood Canadian Whiskey, a blend. Remember, 93 out of 100.